Hello, welcome back. So we've just fended off some rebels who have been hanging around in Iberia for a long time, and we can now see, if you look very closely at the roads, there is now a little bit more trade flowing through this area. This is our faction leader, Aulus Scipio, and we have to make a decision about whether we go to the northeast and betray Gaul, which, to be frank, is kind of a reasonable thing to do because they've had this dude, Matuginus, who has been attempting to bribe Corduba for literally years of in-game time, so they kind of have it coming. But I think we do also have the option, if we swing around this way in just 3 turns, as opposed to only 2 turns to get there. Still, 3 turns, we can reach Carthago Nova, which is Spain's capital now, and that's pretty much where all of Spain's remaining units are, as far as I can tell. So that's definitely tempting, and it means that we can at least avoid fighting 2 different factions on the same frontier, which would be quite nice. Also, I am going to betray Gaul at some point, I think, because if we have a choice between throwing our lot in with Britannia or Gaul, Britannia tends to do a lot better than Gaul, and they might at least stand a chance at helping us out when we eventually go to war with the Julii. But for now, we are just going to focus on Spain, and we're going to take these cavalry that I forgot about and send them over. Over in Corduba itself, we're going to recruit some peasants, and I think we can't really do much in Scalabus or Asturica, although in Asturica we can recruit some more Roman cav, so let's do that. Over in the east, we have some public order issues brewing here. This place is down to 55% public order, so we're going to drop it to a normal tax rate for now. Especially because we're probably going to move a lot of units out of this town next turn. I'm hoping to attack Thessalonica. We can't get there yet with our ships, but we do have, of course, our... I don't know what to call them. Our forces of limited success, who attempted to take Byzantium but didn't quite manage it. We are going to bring them along, and we should be able to surround Thessalonica with at least 2 pretty big armies. We're going to fuse these together. I know I said I wouldn't do it, but I did a kind of test, and actually they do inherit the more experienced of the 2. I'm not sure if that's how it always works, but it does work that way in this case. And we're going to just fuse as many of these together as we can. So if we do that, then... Did we lose the weapon upgrade? I think we might not have. It's kind of hard to tell. I didn't quite get a good look at that. But if we fuse these guys with these guys, that's going to take them up to just under 160, so that should just about work to get an almost full stack. And then we're going to take these. Actually, we're going to take these, and we're going to fuse them with 105 there, which leaves just the one kind of relatively weak stack, which I think is going to be fine. Over in Cyrene, we're going to recruit a peasant, or a unit of peasants, not just a singular peasant, and that's going to hopefully help the public order situation if we do choose to leave. I'm not sure if this guy is related to the Numidian force that backed off or not. I'm kind of confused about that, but I think we're going to hedge our bets for now, as this guy gets really cheap unit cost. I think he is the Drill Master for 10% discount on training cost, and then Spy Master for another 20% discount. And also he should be an awesome commander. Like, he's kind of been wasted in this town. There are some kind of disadvantages to him, like subject of rumors. I don't think that actually matters too much. I'm not too bothered about what's going on with this guy's wife. He's apparently reverent, but yeah, +1 morale for all units on the battlefield, and then if you keep looking up, I mean, that's pretty bad. He's more likely to get assassinated, but I don't think that matters too much. He's a military genius, which is pretty good. Very easy to bribe. I don't know if that's an issue, but he's got that +1 morale, and then he's got another +2 morale because he's optimistic, and then because he's an unlucky leader, he's got yet another +2 morale. So he's got like +5 morale, which honestly, like, even some of these weaker units, like Astarte, should be pretty hardy under his command. So I would actually quite like to use him as the main force to attack whatever this town is called. I forgot what it's called. There is a temptation to sail to the east instead and attack it from the north, but I think it's going to be safer if we go to meet Flavius. And we're going to send this diplomat just to have a look at the town, see how weakly defended it is. We do have another diplomat up here who was supposed to be used as a kind of scout. Instead of using him as a scout, We're just going to bring him over to here. I guess he is kind of still scouting. And we're just going to get a little bit closer to this town so we can see what's actually in there. So they got their faction leader, who is a 5-star general at the age of 32. That wouldn't be an easy fight, but if we surround him with a really strong stack, we might be okay. We do have 5,000 left in the bank. We should definitely get a market here. But still another, what, 4 turns until we finish the Hippodrome. Maybe gone in a little bit too early with that one, but never mind. In this town, I think we should potentially recruit something. I will go once again with the Archer Auxilia. We'll retrain these because it's nice and cheap. Kydonia, I think, is already busy. Can construct something, I think. So Roman Cavalry or Light Auxilia. I think for now we'll just play it safe with the stables. 3,700 left in the bank. Capua is nice and busy. And we do have this unit here that can move, along with this fleet. This is our Corvus Quinquereme, which has been pretty unused so far. I'm thinking about just shifting this guy to Messana and getting him onto the mainland. In fact, let's just board him on the ship and we're going to drop him off. And we're going to send him up to Capua. Admiral Publius, we're going to move to here. And we're going to swing the Corvus Quinquereme up, and this should do a nice amount. So yeah, absolutely destroyed that guy, only lost the 6 soldiers there. He's kind of backed off into our actual, well, closer to our main cities, which is not ideal, but should be fine. This is a pretty strong fleet, and we should be good just to kind of push towards what's left of the Thracian navies. I'm not sure why Thrace has gone suddenly really heavy into navy. There's like 2 small navies there, plus a further 2 to the east. Not really sure why they've decided to do that now. This guy is going to join up with Carthage, and Legionary Cavalry. I don't think we have too many of them. They take 2 turns to train. Compared to the Roman Cav, they do cost a lot more in upkeep, but they're significantly stronger. 23 defense compared to 16, 7 attack, 9 attack. Charge bonus is 6 compared to 5. I don't know if they're really worth that much extra upkeep. I imagine that if you can get as far as to get the final stable, whichever one it's called. Not that one. Unless you need that one. Oh no, Praetorian Cavalry, that is the best cavalry of Rome. So we do want to be able to recruit those, and those might cost the same kind of upkeep as the other cavalry, the Legionary Cav, and they would probably be a better deal. But we do want to be recruiting lots of units in this town in general, because this is our town with the Temple of Vulcan, soon to be the awesome Temple of Vulcan, and that means it's going to be very good for recruiting units. It was originally intended as a unit recruitment town, but we kind of didn't bother doing that in the end because the public order issues were just so intense for such a long time. I think we're pretty much done. There is a lot of money left in the bank, but I'm sure we can find a way to spend that pretty soon. I don't want to just splash out money where we don't need anything. Possibly here in Lilybeim we can invest. So highways aren't too expensive. They don't increase growth. This town's busy. This town's not busy. We're kind of just slightly short of being able to afford the dockyard, so I think we're just gonna instead... Yeah, screw it. Let's go with the highways at Lilybeim, and let's just end the turn. I'm always paranoid that I've forgotten something, but we'll take the risk. I forgot about this guy apparently, but he's already busy, so that's fine. Oscar looks very undefended, but also quite difficult to get to. Spain once again, dropping Cordoba's public order. Looks like the Spanish are starting to move towards us in this direction. Don't know if they've just gone missing. Agent detected. We finally got him. Public order is actually like reasonably okay now. That's a big relief. I also got the ability to recruit Arcani, which I don't think I noticed in this town before, but I don't think we're going to recruit any more of them because they've been pretty disappointing all around. Right, what else is going on? Alliance announced between Dacia and Spain. That's not too surprising. Two enemies of Rome teaming up. Parthia has been destroyed. So I'm not sure who took the northeast town, but not really too relevant to us. Maybe it does mean that soon Pontus and Egypt will go to war with each other. I hope they will. They do have a very large shared border, and that would be pretty nice. I just have to hope that Egypt doesn't completely steamroll Pontus. Construction report, lots of stuff is done, and we've only got 10,000 to spend. Faction announcements, this guy, Neus, lots of pet monkeys going around. This guy's just a spy, but he does seem to be getting better. Alright, so we're going to take our faction leader, and we're going to move mostly in this direction. You can see that the lion's share of the trade, even now, having cleared the path, is going towards our ships. Not that that affects anything, just something noticeable. We're going to recruit some peasants, and I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to take these barbarian mercenaries, leave them in Corduba because they're not really that good, and they're so numerous that they're going to be pretty good for keeping public order. We need to kind of plan this out slightly. Alright, so let's take these guys, let's step them away from the main force. We'll take the strongest unit we can of these. Early legionary cohort compared to Principe is much more expensive in upkeep, and not really much better in stats. They do have better morale, so we should definitely take them. But we might actually take more than just that. We might actually make a kind of backup force to follow up with. So let's keep moving towards Carthago Nova. There is a small rebel force there. I'm pretty okay just to take that on. It's probably just peasants. Skirmishers and Iberian infantry, that'll be pretty easy to take down. So we will follow that path. I assume that's still meant to be the quickest way. It's saying 3 turns that way. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a slightly shorter distance from this way. We're going to send these down to join up the main force. And I think, especially now that we've cleared out that spy, finally, we might actually be able to create a bit of a backup force. We should have some extra cav here, which we do. Let's send them down to the south. Looks like Spain is actually coming to attack Gaul, but that seems very hopeless. Slight risk that they could turn around and attack Asturica. That would not be good. We'll just have to chance it, I think. It looks like they're going for Gaul. Over here, I don't think anything too big happened. They pushed the Brutii away, for now. Thessalonica is looking slightly stronger than it was last turn, but not by much. So I think we're good just to make a move. The faction leader is probably going to be pretty hard to kill. I think we have another assassin. Yeah, we got this guy. We're going to bring him up too. And what I could actually do is I could just focus them on the Romans instead. Maybe not the faction leader. Cassius Brutus. I wouldn't be surprised if he's like the consul or something. Pontifex Maximus is the one I'm thinking of. But he's not. He's not even in the Senate. Aulus Scipio is, what it's worth. Don't know if that actually affects anything. So we got a 5% chance of killing the faction leader. I don't think that's going to be worth doing. Might be worth just training him up. 88% on that captain. Won't actually affect anything, killing a captain, but since we can't actually see what we can sabotage, that might be the best option we have, just to slightly train ourselves up. Or we can just push on this town instead. No, I think for now we're just going to go and attack this attack this captain. We managed to kill him, and we did manage to increase one of our traits, +1 to our skill. I'm not sure, like, even with an absolutely huge amount of skill, if the chance of killing this guy is going to go above about 10%, but still. We're going to take this guy and move him slightly further up, and then we're going to take pretty much this whole force, maybe leaving behind a very small number of particularly weak units like these 4 Equites. The 24 Libyan mercenaries we don't need. Probably leave the hoplites behind as well. I think the rest look okay, maybe not the Hastati. Yeah, we're going to leave the Hastati behind, and we are going to start besieging Thessalonica. He could come out. In a way, I'd like that. I am prepared to starve them out. There's no way I'm going to go for an actual siege assault against that. This is our secondary army, which we're going to bring up. It's a bit weak. I might just take some of these weaker stacks and send them to the south. And then we're going to take these guys. He's got 4 free slots, so we'll join them up with Marcellus. Can't recruit any mercenaries. I think this guy... We don't want him to get attacked directly. I don't think he can. I think they have to attack Marcellus. So there is a temptation just to bypass all this. Go straight for the next city. The thing is, we do know those guys in the east are probably headed in our direction. In fact, I could go look for them. I think they are going to come towards us. Okay. That's a bit weaker than expected. There he is. Yeah, so he's probably going to come and try and bail Thessalonica out. So that's going to be a bit difficult to deal with. I'm going to go for the Shrine to Saturn here, even though it's going to be a bit of a frontline town. I think public order situation is clearly a mess. We're going to have to drop them to low tax rate. And monthly games, I think, would just about work if we recruit some kind of reasonably decent unit. Archer Auxilia should work fine. Serviceable in battle, and also pretty decent for keeping public order. In this town, we have a choice between Roman Cav and more Archer Auxilia. We're going to go for the Roman Cav. And then Corinth, we just need to constantly pump out legionary cohorts, because this is the only town that can do that. And those guys are a very good deal. And we should also pick... Public order situation's actually okay. We should still probably improve it a bit more, because Arena's fairly cheap. Large Temple of Vulcan's fairly cheap. Yeah, so let's go for the Large Temple of Vulcan for now. And in Sparta, everything's pretty busy, I guess. We'll go for a spy. I think the spy, working in tandem with the assassin, should make it slightly easier to see what our targets are. Kydonia does have just like this one random spy that we need to somehow bring over to the mainland.
Ready to sail.
Which this fleet might be able to. I'm going to probably ignore the rebels. Not really bothered about them. Just going to sail to the east, and we're going to attempt to clear these out with our Corvus Kinkarim. It looks like the Numidians have returned. They've still got a big force with them, so we do need to get this ship over to defend our town, which... I swear it said they could make it, but actually we're stuck for one more turn. Okay, so we're going to recruit some more peasants. They're not really going to help in a siege defense scenario, but I think we have to do it. This diplomat is going to investigate this town, which is indeed pretty much completely empty. I don't think we can bribe them because it's their final town. I don't think I've ever once succeeded at getting someone to be my protectorate. I don't even know exactly what it does, to be honest. Alice Scipii is done for the turn, and Capua is still not done with the Imperial Palace. Even though I don't rate Auxilia, I think we are reaching that point where we might have to go for a massive war against the other Romans, so I am just going to keep recruiting. And we're going to retrain these. The Barbarian Cavalry Mercenaries, I think, are the reward we got for blockading Carthago Nova. And they're really bad. Like, they are absolutely horrendous. 8 attack, 10 defense. Might be good for chasing down routers, but that's about it. Right, construction report. This will tell us where we should build next. So Thapsus is done. Thapsus just has the Temple of Saturn, so we should focus this mostly on economy. We'll go for the arena for now to improve the public order situation. Larissa is still building. I think we just did that this turn. Carthage finished the awesome Temple of Vulcan, so we can think about improving our military options, which we should, because this is our best recruitment town. These are extremely expensive to retrain. 405 denarii. That's kind of shocking. Let's go for the blacksmith, it's nice and cheap. And I think that's pretty much it. Pretty much everywhere is nice and busy. In Rhodes I might actually recruit some more naval units so we can actually bring across these archer auxilia. Let's get a trireme. And then Kydonia we're going to recruit. I think we'll just avoid recruiting in Kydonia for now. So that might just about be it for the turn. I'm going to recruit some peasants here. This town doesn't have enough population. Okay, and last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check for serious public order problems. So Lepsus Magna's not too happy, we're going to drop them to a low tax rate. I think we kind of have to, plus it's okay for them to grow. They're a bit too small at the moment. Which reminds me, I think they actually have a second family member. They do. So they have Oppius Orsonius, who has at least some kind of management skill. Then they have Placus, who has a pretty decent command skill. Plus he's hard to kill. But he's got low morale, so I think I will just leave him as governor, and we're going to send this guy up to Carthage to govern it. He can also recruit some mercenaries, which actually does remind me, just to be absolutely safe, I could actually step this guy out of town. He's getting older and older. I think his appearance just changed. Yeah, he's just reached the age of 50. So he's gone fully grey. So if we step him out of town, we have the exact same mercenary pool available to us. I think we'll go for the hoplites and see how much these cost. Get some mercenaries, some Libyan mercenaries, and we're going to step all them back in the town. Which leaves us with not a whole lot of money. These ships can almost make it to Rhodes. I think they're a little bit at risk if we don't keep them with our other ships.
Aye, Captain. Aye, Captain. Set sail. No more moves, sir. Fleet ready. Set sail.
That should work, I think. And we're just going to end the turn. Once again, feel like I've forgotten something horrendous. But we'll see. So, looks like Spain has pulled back. Thrace is coming with a big force to probably fend off our attack on their capital. A suitable husband, he's 38 years old, which is a little bit too old for my liking, but he has actually got reasonably decent stats. I'm going to come back to that. Cyrene is once again being besieged by Numidia. That's completely fine, we're just going to step off the ships. Not making too much money. Masano's grown. That's going to be pretty much all our money gone if we go for it, but I think we do have to. Okay, I didn't manage to kill a Thracian spy in Larissa, but that's fine. I don't think Larissa is going to rebel or anything like that. This is Masana, so we can ignore it. Popularity gained with the Senate. Okay, someone's died. This guy. So we can't keep an eye on the Numidian capital, but we know this is pretty much everything they have, so that's completely fine. Let's just take this guy on. Not with the peasants. Okay, so he does actually want to fight us. We're going to have the backup of Captain Decimus. We know we've got very good morale, but wow, he's got 4 family members. And the rest isn't too challenging, so it is just going to be those 4 family members that are going to put up a bit of a fight. Okay, let's have a go.
Send them to fight! Dishearten the enemy!
Okay, so he's going to pull back all the way towards the edge of the map. I think we should take this as a chance to actually wait for our reinforcements to arrive, and we will just slowly make our way to wherever he decides to park himself, and hopefully take him out before he can do too much damage to us. In particular, we need to use the hoplites well, I think, because almost all of his good units are general units. Some of our backup is coming from that way, which is not what I expected. Okay, that's interesting. I don't think we can pull off a surround. Flavius is going to be our best individual unit, but he's only got 41 men with him, which is not really going to be enough. These mercenaries are in our town. Okay, he's actually staying put, I think possibly because he knows our reinforcements are coming from that direction. Let's actually gather these guys up, put them in a control group. And we'll go with something like this. I want to try and catch out all those skirmishers if I can. Don't really have enough cavalry here to really match up to him. As yeah, he's finally on the move now that we're exiting the gates. These guys are all the way over here, so let's actually wait with them. Don't think he's going to come and attack us on this side. We are stuck with the peasants, unfortunately. I can't withdraw them either, because of course they would just withdraw to the town. Okay, so that's kind of bad, because we do have some reinforcements who are stuck off the field. The peasants are pretty useless. I'm almost tempted just to throw them away, but I think that might just end up lowering everyone else's morale. Okay, so in terms of our units that are actually in the town, we've got the Libyan mercenaries, and otherwise it's just the one unit of hoplites and the peasants. So let's send the Libyan mercenaries over to attack their own. And I think we might actually risk these two just to go and take these out before he can respond, as looks like he's just going to run away. Maybe not. Can't really tell. So he's got that one general's bodyguard there. I think they are going to come and fight us. This could be premature. Okay, so numbers are dropping quickly. There is that one general's bodyguard who I think is going to come and fight us. They got more archers there. Okay, we're actually the ones routing, so we're going to pull back just to keep our general safe. That went really badly. I'm not too surprised, but even then, that's pretty terrible. Okay, so we're going to have to do this with our infantry. Being pursued by desert spearmen, that's fine. Most of our recruiters, or at least about half of them, are still alive. This guy's going to put a fire at will. And desert infantry are incredibly weak, so we should be able to scare them off without too much trouble. We're going to take all these guys over in this direction. Just bring them a little bit closer. Okay, so we need to be very careful of their armoured bodyguards. Okay, so they're coming in with their own javelin men. Kind of surprised they're going in close range. This could actually be pretty bad. I'm actually going to bring General around the side. I really don't trust this. Okay, good. Looks like we are at least mostly winning that particular fight. Kind of surprised that his armoured bodyguards aren't getting more involved, as we've triggered a bit of a mass rout there. See if we can catch these out with our hoplites. You'd think surely not, because they'd be really stupid to take that fight. Archers are mostly backing off. General's bodyguard are going to get involved, I think, so we need to pull back. They're actually, I think they're going to stay put. They're gonna stay put and they're actually gonna... They're gonna try and fight our hoplites. I'm surprised by that one. Okay, so we need to really focus these down because they're gonna be really hard to fight. They're coming to fight us with their own general now. Their actual general. And we're just going to try and save Flavius here. It's looking pretty bad. Okay, let's completely surround him. I think Flavius is at the back there, so there's actually a serious risk he's going to get killed. He's supposed to have like +4 morale, so I'm surprised those Equites gave up earlier as quickly as they did. As we've got some Numidian mercenaries coming in, I think that's going to be fine. We should be able to withstand one of those. These guys are routing, but the hoplites can hopefully hold the line. In theory, they have a great matchup, but they're going to need some backup, as we're not really managing to take out this general's bodyguard too well. Let's try and run these over instead, if we can. But, Flavius, I think, is expecting to lose. Yeah, he is. Okay, so I might actually pull him out. Hopefully he won't get killed as he withdraws, as our hoplites are giving up too. I'm gonna have to just try and get this away. This general units are just so incredibly tough to deal with. Like, they can actually take on our hoplites head on and still beat us. Unfortunately, they're just going to sweep through us. I don't think we can really engage that. Just have to hope as many of our units survive as possible, as our armies are hopelessly split. I think we're going to have to go back behind the walls. So one of our units of Equites is completely dead. I'm going to send in Flavius once again, I think, just to take these on. He should be mostly capable of doing that. These guys are just going to have to hold their ground. Okay, so small victory there. Flavius has only got about 12 guys left now. They're coming in, I think, for a big charge against these. That's not good. Gonna need these guys to get involved. Not sure how far they are. Okay, they're absolutely ages away. That's not gonna be good. Okay, we're gonna have to just hold our line. Archer Auxilia gonna get completely destroyed, unfortunately. Triarii should be like reasonably capable of taking these on. No. Okay. This is not going well at all. So yeah, they managed to flank us.
Nerve is broken, and he is fleeing from the enemy.
Okay. It's all about these two units of hoplites. If we can just catch them with those. Okay, they're coming towards us. You guys pull back behind the hoplites, you guys attack. These guys need to run off too. Actually, they're about to get charged, so we just have to hope they can do their best. They're not going to win that fight, but hoplites are at least engaging the general here. This should be okay. Yeah, we've at least scared that guy off. Okay, so we're going to need to rely on these quite a lot. Flavius, I don't remember telling him to do anything, but he's on the move. Okay, so what's he got left? Okay, so he's got the General's Armed Bodyguard, 2 lots of them coming in. That's not good. We're gonna have to really run these in. Where's Flavius? I think we're just gonna have to have a go.
away his wife, and now he feeds the carrion birds. His men may soon be bird food too.
I think the route's going to take us, even though we could definitely win the fight if we hold our nerve. Yeah. That's so rough. I don't really see what we have left now. That's really not good. We would actually lose Cyrene if we don't take the fight. Clavius is dead. Radiant Slingers aren't going to help us. Alright, so they've kind of reformed. 91 of them have reformed. Don't think we can actually bait them to attack the town itself. I see, yeah, they do just have so many armoured horsemen left that it's going to be pretty much impossible to take them on. They've got about 80 armoured horsemen there, plus a further 17 there. What I would like to know is whether we've actually taken out the leaders themselves, so I'm actually going to, at last, take off the whatever it's called, the general camera. Maybe it's in game option. We're going to unrestrict the camera, and we're going to take a look, a very forensic look at what this guy has left. So does he have his main dude? Okay, I think those are all just bodyguards, from what I can see. Okay, so that's one family member down. These two, I'm pretty sure, will still be safe. I'm not sure if actually the lone family member appears. I think it's this guy at the back, actually, to be fair. But that is their actual general. They're coming in now, I think. Or they're considering it. We've got quite a few units have regained their morale. So, we've been caught out here, apparently. Okay. Alright, time to... see if we can draw these in somehow. No, okay. A whole lot are just gonna rout. Okay. This fight is not gonna work. I wonder if there's just some way we can do it that doesn't involve losing the town. Unfortunately, the hoplites are throwing their lives away, apparently running in fear, yet running straight towards the actual opponents who are for some reason not killing us. I guess we'll take that. Okay, no, they are now killing us pretty easily. And our units are failing to get through the gates. This is just an all-around disaster. Okay, so in the end I have just run down the clock. I'm hoping this will result in not losing the town, since it was our decision to take them on. I'm hoping this will conclude as a stalemate, and then hopefully we can entice them to actually attack the town directly. If they do try to charge through our gates with their horses, we might actually stand a better chance of holding them off with our hoplites. In particular, it would be nice to reset morale, but we'll see how it plays out. The timer is just about to expire. Surely it would count as a draw, which yes it does, as that is probably the worst fight yet of the whole campaign. But in theory we haven't actually lost anything, so hopefully there won't be any too nasty consequences to that. I really didn't expect them to have 4 different units of General's Bodyguard. That's really awkward to deal with. But at least our town survives. We have just the one unit of mercenary hoplites actually in there, and another one is outside the town instead. Not too sure what to make of this. I suppose I should pick up some more recruits from somewhere. Lepsis Magnus is not a good option. So I guess we just have to send the ships back to Sparta and essentially do the same thing all over again. Hope that it goes slightly better this time.
Yes, Captain.
We'll have to try.
Move, sir. Yes, Captain.
But yeah, let's definitely recruit a few better units from this particular area. We are actually going to want auxilia now, just to take on those generals' bodyguards. Anything that's going to help against cavalry, we should definitely get. So let's get some more auxilia here. Corinth. Actually, Corinth should not build auxilia. Corinth should stick to building nothing but legionary cohorts. And Larissa is a bit too far away to actually get involved. I think we'll just go with archer auxilia there. We'll bring these guys down to Larissa, and these mercenaries we're going to send up to defend our family member here. In fact, we can send one more unit to join that particular force. So if we take a look at it, it's pretty low on cavalry, so let's put our strongest unit of Equites into that same force. And could potentially leave the Arcani behind, they're not great. In Larissa we're going to get the temple to Saturn. And yeah, Flavius has died. His morale didn't actually help as much as I thought it would. If those hoplites had held their nerve, even early on, the first unit of hoplites that got attacked, that would have been great. Unfortunately, I think these two, who are down to 11 and 16 men respectively, are going to regain their forces over the next few turns, which is going to make them no less easy to deal with. I think we just have to accept it. And we've pretty much already spent all our money. We could actually spend a little bit more, perhaps over in this area. So Corduba. We'll recruit some peasants. Our Scipio we're going to send towards Spain, as we are outnumbered there. We would be outnumbered, but I think it's still going to be worth a go.
Sir! We can't do that, sir. Prepare for battle. Moves depleted, sir. General, march! No more moves!
And let's just take all the units of Principes. We're going to leave the Hastati behind, possibly. I'm not too sure.
Moves depleted, sir.
No, I think we should take these with us, as that really does not leave Corduba very happy. But they do have some more peasants coming in. I'm hoping that'll be enough. We will retrain the barbarian mercenaries, just in case we get attacked, which I'm hoping we won't. And these guys are able to move again. Perhaps we could actually use these guys to send over some kind of reinforcements. This navy is potentially quite irrelevant. I don't think they're actually going to attack us over there, so we're going to go for these guys instead.
Prepare for battle.
Still didn't manage to... oh, did manage to sink them, so that's great.
Victory!
And these guys are
Prepare for battle.
going to go down too, pretty easy. Okay, so that's great. So we should be able to get back across to Cyrene at least, as long as it doesn't get taken next turn. The Corvus King Kareem is actually doing a great job. Very expensive in upkeep, but doing very well otherwise. And I think we will just end the turn there. If the end turn button works. Apparently it doesn't. Oh, I've got to choose. I've got to choose whether to take this guy or not. Well, hopefully he'll pop up somewhere useful. I'm going to actually accept him. So where is he? He's yet another guy in our capital, so I think we've maybe accepted a few too many of these people now. Oh well, let's end the turn. I forgot about my assassin there. Okay, so Gaul's still bribing us, but not coming to attack us. Thrace bribing us too. Okay, here we go. Big fight coming up. Really big fight coming up. Two very strong generals. Okay. Very heavily infantry based. Extremely heavily infantry based. So we're going to need to use our range superiority as much as we can here. Wow, this guy is straight up. I think that's 10 command stars. So he must be a good defender or something. Yeah, good defender, +2 command when defending. He's even got a food taster for what it's worth. Surely. Yeah, he's got a popular hero for +2 morale. Plus +1 morale for being bloody, whatever that means. Likes killing people brutally, perhaps, I'm not really sure. This should be interesting. Let's have a go. So there is a fairly small hill just here, which is kind of between the two forces. I wonder if we could move towards that and capture that before they can, as they are coming towards us very quickly. We do have our reinforcements coming, but we definitely want to rely on our archers a lot here. Gonna set those up as soon as possible and just try and rain missiles upon them. Triarii are going to go to the side to defend from potential cavalry attacks. Arcani are going to do something pretty similar, just try and hide themselves, make themselves useful for when we do get attacked. And we're going to keep our cavalry towards the sides, just to defend when needed. Our skirmisher units are also hidden apparently, I didn't know they could hide. I guess they're hidden behind the hill perhaps. We could also use those pretty well, I think. They're not quite as useful as archers, they're a lot easier to catch out. But we are overall very superior to them in ranged attacks. There are a couple of onagers over there that I might have to kind of go on a bit of an attempt to assassinate. Possibly using the Roman cav for that. I do want to keep my general back because he's extremely valuable and I don't want him to get caught out by anything too nasty. This guy should have a few reinforcements of his own coming, but possibly has to wait for them to arrive or something. I'm not really sure what's happened with that. It's on him to come to us. I don't think we're quite... yeah, we're not quite at the crest of the hill here. So we'll move forward slightly. That should be fine. Put all these guys on fire at will, and our archers will run in there. Triarii, once again, around the side to defend the flanks. And we just want to be somewhere where we can actually fire at will. Over here, they do have some ranged units. I think they had archers or something like that. I'm not sure we could actually catch those out. I'm going to attempt to sneak around with my Roman cav and just catch out those onagers, because those could really mess us up if they get a few lucky shots off. So we're still not close enough to actually fire on them, but they do have to come to us. Okay, so they've got Bastani mercenaries, we want to avoid those. And looks like they're coming towards us with just about everything. Okay, so we need to keep our generals pretty close by, as our archers are not yet close enough to fire. Okay, Bastani mercenaries are going to come towards our Roman cav. We might just have to engage them, see if we can catch them out with the hill bonus. Hopefully rout them. Okay, they're wavering. Archers are all beginning to fire, that's good. Hopefully we can break these guys and just move on. Don't want to fight the Folksmen. So they are kind of enveloping around us. Okay, still says they're wavering. But we are now fighting the Folksmen, which is not ideal. Okay, good, we've finally broken those, so let's charge the Folksmen if we can. We just gotta hope.
Reinforcements in a pathetic attempt to save themselves.
Bit of lag here. PC is really not good. Hopefully it'll stabilize soon. Anyway, Phalanx Pikemen are taking a large number of shots. I think now we need to bring in our cavalry, as we have managed to successfully rout a few of them. They are going to try and surround us. Let's send these over to take down the onagers. Let's be very careful with these, not to involve them too heavily. As okay, what's actually here? Folksmen. Okay, I didn't actually see those Folksmen there. It's not going to be a good fight for the Equites, so let's pull back. Send our general around the side, and this is not a good fight. Need to see if we can catch those out somehow. Charge these in, because I think they're pretty much just stuck having to take that fight. One of these is our general. Really need him to not die. We can rout them as quickly as possible. He's not taking too many losses, but okay, here we go. This is going to be a nasty hit. potentially. Actually going to charge everything into the general there. So there could be a rout here, I think. It's just Hastati going up against them, which is not ideal. Volksman.
The reinforcements have arrived! This is hopeful news indeed!
Okay. So they've got mercenary peltasts, they've got a very small unit of Bastani mercenaries there, which we're going to go and attack. These guys need to just run away because they're about to get caught out by whatever these are. Thracian mercenaries charging in. Okay, what else is happening? Things looking pretty dangerous over here. I wonder if we can perhaps bring these in. Need to be very careful. Got to catch that general somehow. Okay, this surely will result in a nice big rout. Volksman there, slightly harder to deal with, but General's Armoured Bodyguard is causing us some problems. Alright, we should have this guy pretty nearby. Let's try and charge him in, take out that general, pull everything else back. So one thing we can't see right now that is happening is our Cretan archers should be getting lots of kills. Having to fight these Thracian mercenaries, I think that's pretty unavoidable, so let's just go for it.
The enemy general is slain, and now his men fear us.
Okay, good, broken those two. This is more like it. Okay, what's this? Folksman, 41 Folksman. Okay, good, we've actually taken out the first army entirely. Alright, so let's have a look. So we still got some ammo left. I'm going to pull everyone back just to kind of regroup, although actually I think some of our weaker units, like these, should go and clear out the phalanx pikemen as much as possible. General could potentially do it too, although there is some backup there for them, so I need to be a little bit careful. The archers are completely broken. Yeah, that first force is completely gone, so I don't think anyone's going to be able to take up the onagers. We don't have to worry about that. But it's going to be pretty difficult to chase down the phalanx pikemen without engaging the faction leader there. We really need to take out that faction leader if we can. It's going to be huge. This is much more like it. Enjoying this a lot more than that first fight, which was a complete disaster. This is going very well so far, but can't take it for granted. I think we have got our own reinforcements now towards the back. We need to bring those in if we can. Okay, they're not getting involved yet. I've got a few of them, I think. No, they're just hiding. Okay, that's fine. So, still got about a third of our ammo left. These guys also, I think, don't really have much in the way of ranged units. Some Folksmen, Peltasts. Yeah, I think Peltast is pretty much all they have, so let's actually... I'm going to withdraw the Bellates because they have no ammo left, so they're not going to do too much. And these guys have almost no ammo left, but we'll go and spend that last little bit. 33 Hastati. Thing is, if I withdraw my units, I don't know if that's actually going to involve these reinforcements or not, because they could actually send in one of those units now, but they've chosen not to for some reason. Not really sure how that works. Okay, so these guys are getting closer. We're firing what's left of our ammo. Hopefully getting a few easy kills. Hopefully not aiming for the Peltas, although I think we actually are. Wonder if we can rout those. Okay, so Peltas mostly isolated. We're going to focus these on the Folksmen, because Folksmen are pretty unarmoured when it comes to taking arrows. You guys need to ignore the Folksmen. Don't know why they go for the Folksmen. Right, we're just going to charge those guys down. Should be able to catch them out pretty easily as these guys are charging in. We should have our Triarii near here, or we did at one point. Okay, we're going to have to just take that on with everything we have, as it's going to be a nasty hit there and we're going to be immediately routed. We should have some more units we can use, so let's take these guys. And it is just Greek cavalry, so we should be able to take them on without too much trouble, as holy crap, our leader has been caught out by a massive charge there. That's really not good. Just gotta hope he doesn't die. He's got really good stats. Our other leader is This is actually looking pretty dangerous. Some huge forces there. These guys are engaging the Folksmen.
Runs from the battle. Will his men follow, or had they more backbone?
Okay, that's got to be the 10 gold stars in general. We've got the king.
He has been slaughtered. Let us hope he does not poison the carrion birds.
Okay, good. Triggered a nice mass rout there. Unfortunately, we have lost our Triarii, but that's okay. Reinforcements starting to come in now for what it's worth. These guys are going to have to come out of skirmish mode, I think, because the militia cav could run them down, and that's not going to be good. Let's try and bring our 2 generals around and use them to scare off those militia cav. As I can see our legionary cohort's doing a really good job chasing down something over there. I didn't actually tell them to do that, but they seem to have done it pretty well. As unfortunately, I think, yeah, we're going to have to take the hit here of losing a few of our Cretan archers. But our generals going in should be able to rout that pretty easily. These guys, all 3 of them together should be able to rout the Folksmen, so let's go for that. You guys are pretty isolated. I'm going to try and run them around the side. Let's charge these in. What's going on with their phalanx pikemen? So the phalanx pikemen are coming in slowly. We're going to pull these back. In fact, ideally we'd just completely withdraw them from the fight at this point. Okay, so are any of our units actually fighting? Yeah, the Triarii have been caught out by phalanx pikemen. Let's just pull them out of that fight. Okay, they're routing. That's kind of sad. Okay, at least a few of them did survive. And now the rest of the fighting is not too bad. 110 peltas there. That's kind of annoying. I think we have to try and run those down if we can. Okay, should have Equites. Yeah, we do actually have Equites here, so that's a perfect unit for actually chasing down those peltasts. Hopefully they're already low on morale, which yes they are. Already wavering, that's good. Pull back to our general, who is slowly being crept up on by the phalanx pikemen. Triarii there, we might be able to get them to regain their courage. Rally the troops. Didn't work, but that's fine. Okay, so we need to actually bring in some kind of infantry to deal with these phalanx pikemen. So bring these 2 up, put them on fire at will stance, and I'm hoping if we just withdraw these, they will leave the field in that direction. Which looks like they will, so that's good. These guys have stopped fighting. Okay, some Folksmen there, we massively outnumber them, so should break them pretty quick. They do have the hill bonus, but yeah, break immediately. Okay, this is bad. We've been caught out by something. Phalanx pikemen have got to pull right out of there. Oh man, that's what I get for focusing on the cinematics. Is he dead? I think he's alive. That better not be him. That's actually him, isn't it? Oh my god. Is it? Maybe it's not him. Okay, that's a relief. Okay, let's pull all this straight out of here. That was not good. That's not good either. Arcani, not a good fight for them. Okay. That's what I get for trying to put on the show. Try and show that big fight with the Folksmen. Should have paid more attention to my actual decent units. Okay, at least he survived. Hit them in the back. They're going to break immediately. That's good. Let's go for the other stack too. Hopefully break them before they can do any damage, which yes we do. Okay, so phalanx pikemen there, still pretty much full powered. Bring these up. Okay, so that's pretty much the last remaining unit. I think quite a few of their units have got out alive. These guys are about to fire their peeler. Okay, we've broken them.
Is in flight. Pursue them and drive them from the battlefield.
Okay, we want to kill as many of these as possible because I think anything that survives is going to be left to defend Thessalonica unless we take it immediately. Man, this guy is so lucky to be alive. 20 attack, 31 defense, so we definitely want to keep him alive. He's pretty young too, I think. So yeah, we've taken both their generals, but both of ours have survived. I think most of our reinforcements decided not to come in for some reason, but that's good. So we've still got a pretty big force. Most of the actual good units were in this particular force, so it's not like we've got an amazing force left over, but I would think Thrace have pretty much nothing left after this. We know they have that one fairly big force to the east near Byzantium. Actually, I think that's what we just fought. I think, yeah, from what I remember, it was that force that came in to attack us. So we might be okay. Just to take pretty much everything they have left at this point. Okay, let's speed this up. That is more like it. Nearly 4,000 kills. Still got 2,400 men left. And I think that is pretty much got to be the final, not the final nail in Thrace's coffin, but certainly I can't imagine they'd have too much left after that. And will we take their capital immediately? Yes, we will. And they actually like us. I'm surprised by that. They don't have many people, that's why. I'm not sure what happened to their population. They must have almost no one there. Okay, this guy's 41 years old. I'm saying no. We've already got way too many people. 5 generals in that one town. Okay, so Thessalonica is now ours. It's only got 572 population, I'm not really sure why. And similar to our other towns, it can't train legionary cohorts, it can only train early legionary cohorts, which is not ideal, but that's fine. We can retrain a few of these units, so we will. Construction report, lots of stuff built. Capital's finally built the Imperial Palace, so let's go ahead and start getting some decent unit recruitment buildings. Start with the blacksmith, and we'll start recruiting some Praetorian cohorts too, as this guy's retinue has expanded. I think that's the guy who just won the fight. So yeah, he has got most of his units back, or most of his soldiers back I should say, his bodyguard unit. And we should be pretty good just to push on what they have left. I'm going to send this guy up here just to see if there's much of a defense here, which there is a little bit more than I expected. Including the factionaire. 7% chance of success. Okay, but we do have a better assassin that we could potentially use instead. 25% chance. I think we should go for this. Okay, we missed. Didn't die though. This guy just needs to train. There we go. Okay. I think we are in a perfect position to crush what's left of Thrace. I think it's been a pretty long part, so I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.